Hello and welcome. My name is Grace. This is my channel where I talk about all things folk magic and divination related, tarot cards, oracle cards, and everything, all the adjacent kind of subjects. Oh, okay. Where to begin? I'm also known as Rue of Rue's Kitchen. Some of you may know me way back in the day from my website, rueskitchen.com, which is still going strong. Over 25 years, I'm still on the internet with my website. And if you're hearing about it for the first time, check it out. The link is down below, where there you'll find basically it's a repository of all kinds of Italian folk magic, Italian Canadian folk magic, Italian American folk magic that I've basically collected, and some of it is also content that I had created over the last 25 plus years. Also, before I get into the meat of this video, so to speak, I wrote like a bit of a letter to all of you. I had to make notes, people. I just don't have the capacity right now to be improvising everything. So things that are really important, I'm going to be reading from my notes. So again, hi everyone. I've been quiet lately and quieter than usual, and I want to talk about why. At the beginning of this year, I lost my mentor, Donna. Then just weeks ago, my best friend Terry passed away. And these were two of the people who held me up in this life, and they were gone back to back. They were both my sisters in the craft. They were my sorelle. There was my sorella Donna and my kuma Terry. They were with me from the very beginning of my practice, my spiritual practice, my magical practice. So the grief has been kind of silenced, to be honest, and I've been learning how to live with this silence, because I can't just text them or email them or pick up my phone and phone them up and talk about things and bounce things off with them, or you know what I mean? Like I can't share with them anymore. So many of us, though, are carrying sorrow right now, and not just personal loss, but a collective heaviness, a quiet grief that hums beneath the surface of everything. The world feels uncertain, worn thin, and it's touching all of us in different ways. In the midst of all this, I've been feeling the presence of the Black Madonna, or the Dark Mother, or Hecate, whatever you wish to call her, more than ever. She comes in the quiet. She comes when there are no words left. She comes when you're holding the weight of everything and you're still showing up for yourself and for others. She isn't here to fix anything. She's here to be with us in the aching, in the unknown, and in the dark. And she knows this terrain, and she walks it with us. Lately, I've been lighting candles to her, not just in devotion, but in exhaustion, honestly, and in prayer, and whispered thanks for the small mercies, because it's important to whisper thanks for the small mercies, to recognize the small mercies, and to be grateful. If you're also moving through a time like this, loss, caretaking, heartbreak, uncertainty, I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not behind. You're not doing it wrong. You're simply living through something really hard. And sometimes just surviving is sacred work. To my dear YouTube viewers, Instagram followers, Facebook group members, and patrons on Patreon. Thank you. Your continued support through these months of silence means more to me than I can say. I haven't had the capacity to create or share much lately, but your presence and patience have been a quiet comfort, a reminder that I'm not alone and I carry deep gratitude for each and every one of you. Alongside all this, I forgot to mention, is that I'm also caring for an ailing family member who lives with us. And I'm tending to my elderly dog, whose health is also declining. So it's been one thing after another. And I know I am not the only one walking through a season of loss right now. But even in this, maybe, especially in this, I still believe in hope. Not blind hope, not toxic positivity, not forced positivity, but the hope, the kind that shows up in small, quiet ways, in breath, in memory, in love that refuses to leave even after death. We are still here. We are still loving. We are still rising little by little. And I believe in that. In you, in us, and in the mystery that holds us all. Thank you for being here, even in the quiet. I see you. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about, I have some news that I wanted to share that I'm very excited about because, like I said, even in the midst of chaos, good things could still happen. My second book, Living Folk Magic, Crafting a Magical Life, is up for pre-order. I'm very excited. It's going to be released November 3rd of this year, 2025. It coincides with my eldest daughter's birthday, which is very exciting. I'm also excited that my book's a Scorpio. And I will link to my website in the description box, because then you could select, if you choose to pre-order, I thank you in advance. But also if you save it to your wish list, it does count. So whether you save it to your wish list or you pre-order, I'm going to link to my website because in the right sidebar, you'll see there's different vendors that you can pre-order from or add to your wish list. And that therefore, you don't have to choose, like you don't have to go to a vendor that you don't like, is what I'm trying to say. So you'll see it's available. My book will be available for pre-order at Amazon in all countries, most countries. Sorry, not all countries. Most countries, and that have Amazon. Barnes and Noble in America, Indigo in Canada, and there's a few other. Of course, my publisher's website, Red Wheel Wiser, has it up for pre-order. So just peruse over to my website, and while you're there, if you're interested in Italian folk magic, and you didn't even know I had a website because I don't talk about it much, but it has been online since 1998, and it's quite a repository of Italian folk magic and Italian Canadian, Italian American content as well in terms of folk magic. So you might find that interesting. The other news I have is that after taking a little bit of a break and been a little quiet or whatever, I'm actually up and running in terms of my services. Those are the tarot readings and the spiritual consultations. What's changed about the tarot readings is that I offer both virtual, where it would be like a 20-minute appointment because 20 minutes goes by fast. So the tarot readings are a 20-minute virtual appointment on Zoom. And or you have the option to choose the email version of the same tarot reading, and you'll receive a video of your reading. You'll receive a link, and then a private link to your reading. Just to make it clear that, and it is clear on my website, and the services are linked in my description box. Just to make it clear, again, it's one question, it's one focus for the tarot reading. Because again, one question, one concern. 20 minutes goes quick when it's a virtual, because we're both taking up time. And also, you get a better reading when it's focused versus not focused. So if you like a specific concern, and when you receive the video tends to be just under 10 minutes, because we're not interacting. It's just me. I lay out the cards and I get straight to the point. So that's the tarot reading service. The other service is spiritual consultation, not counseling, consultation. And I've rolled back that service to what I was charging, I think, a couple of years ago. I've rolled it back to make it more accessible, because there's some people that had reached out to me, and I don't like to turn people away. So I was already giving them a break. Like, they would reach out to me and say, you know what, I really wanted to have, this spiritual consultation with you. It's 90 minutes long. I charge for my time, not the actual service. And all the description of the service is on my website. It's like perfectly clear. But if you have any questions, you can always email me through my website. But going back to, some people had approached me because, money's tight for everybody. And so I decided to roll it back for everybody, because I was doing a little bit of a sliding scale situation on return, especially return clientele. But also people that were new that would reach out to me and say, you know what, and I would ask them flat out, what can you afford? So I rolled it back to what people generally could afford. And I say that generally because, you know what I mean, money's tight for everybody. So there's that. So you could go check out my listing on my services page on my website, if that is something that interests you. All right, that's enough of that. Did I cover all of that stuff? Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know I was back up and running with that, especially because that's what I'm doing now, full time, because I'm home looking after ailing family member and elderly dog. All right, next thing. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about, something fun, like, the closest I could come to talking about something fun is decks that I'm enjoying, or the decks that I'm turning to during this season of loss, this season of grief. I have really slowed down in the deck acquisition arena. So it's a few years now. I've slowed down quite a bit, but this year I think is the slowest I've been so far at bringing in new decks. It's very intentional. I make sure that I really I'm not impulse buying decks, and when it happens, well, I'll make sure to not do it again. So I received, let me see, some of the decks I'm going to talk about. Some I just received recently. Okay, so there's a couple I received recently, and there's a couple that I've had for a little while, and I'm just going to share with you what I'm using and why. So I've been using my Morgan Greer. And actually, my next video is going to be, I'm going to compare my Morgan Greer from the 90s to the brown box Morgan Greer. A dear friend so generously gifted me the brown box Morgan Greer, and like, oh my god, the colors are just unbelievable. They're so rich. Anyway, there's something about those vintage decks that I absolutely love. And so I am going to do a side by side flip through comparison of my Morgan Greer from the 1990s. So my Morgan Greer from the 1990s still looks pretty decent on camera. You know what I mean? Like in real life, it's really beat up and stuff. I don't know if you could tell, but like, the edges are darkened and you could see like, the edges are pretty fuzzy. And so this is what I mean when I'm talking about the Morgan Greer, it's the one with the stars in the back. I don't have the box anymore. It's long gone. But I've been using my Morgan Greer, especially when it... Sorry, I knocked the microwave. Anyway, I've been using my Morgan Greer, especially during this season of loss, because the people that are gone, I read for them with this exact deck. They touched this exact deck. So I've been going back to this one a lot. I didn't bring out the other deck I'm using, but maybe I'll pause, maybe I won't. We'll see. Doesn't matter. So yeah, Morgan Greer. And in a video coming up this week, I'm going to do the comparison of this one and the beautiful vintage brown box that my friend sent me. So I'm going to go through tarot first and then oracle, because I tend to use less tarot decks than I do oracle decks. And that's another thing about my collection. I don't know. I think I say this every video now. I don't know if I'm going to do a deck collection video, just because now that my collection is tighter and it's reverted back to being really tied to my spiritual practice. I'm a little more, what's the word, private about it. Like it's more personal. I'll see how I feel. But the other tarot deck I've been using is this one. It's the Tarocchi. Oh my god, I can't see. There's like the small font here. Oh my god, people, could you tell my age? I have to show you something. I got these. Hang on. The new classic Tarocchi by Mr. Freeborg. Oh my god. So this is a pip deck, and it comes with an expansion pack that turns it into, I think it's, what is it, Mantegna? A Mantegna tarot? Anyway, I probably got that wrong. Doesn't matter. Those of you who know, I'm a tarot reader, not a collector. I don't know what's what anymore, so it's good. I lie. I'm a little bit of a collector. I do have a small collection of vintage tarot decks that I absolutely adore, that I would never get rid of, but I don't really use them all the time. So this is the Tarocchi Classic, the classic Tarocchi by Mr. Freeborg, and basically it's a pip deck. It's very opulent. It's very Venusian in terms of aesthetic. And all the people are, like, they're all decomposed. They're all skulls, but no, actually they just look mummified, really. The people look mummified. So I've been using this one a lot while I've been grieving, just because, it's a combination for me. This is why it works for me. It's a combination of mummified, it's a combination of death And these beautiful colors. So it's, I don't know, I think it celebrates death in a way that even makes sense. So that's the second tarot deck I've been using. So the first one is the Morgan Greer from my original one, my OG Morgan Greer, my second ever tarot deck I ever owned that I've read. Sorry if that made a loud noise by the microwave again. Oh my God. I'm not hungry, I swear. I could always eat, but I'm not hungry right now. Okay. And then the last one, tarot deck I've been turning to a lot is the one I made out of Soul Cards 1 and 2. Now, I did end up, I own Soul Cards 1 and 2, the original ones, but I did end up printing a copy of my 78 plus 6 cards. So that the 84 cards, like I have a 78 tarot deck that I created out of Soul Cards 1 and 2, and an additional 6 cards that I did have printed up for myself on a cardstock that I can shuffle. So I've been using this one a lot, and this is only for my personal use, and in terms of the fact that I had it printed on cardstock I can shuffle. I'm not going to show it on here. I don't, because you can't get it. So the other decks, so those are the 3 tarot decks that honestly I've been using, and each of them for me, like the Morgan Greer is because the people that are gone actually had touched this deck at some point. I had read for them, and some other people too that are gone, because I've had this one so long. I've had it since 1994. So this one's like already over 30 years old. And the Tarocchi, well, it's because I find that, see, I like these faces. I've known these faces more than half my life. And I like these because they don't look like anybody I know, because they're all mummified. Because I noticed I tend to towards decks. See, this is what I learned about myself in the process of like accumulating and then getting rid of, and the madness and the many trips to the river. In my many trips to the river, I learned that I don't really like people in my tarot decks, in my cards. I certainly do not appreciate people in my tarot decks. So my tarot decks have to have people that are either mummified or artistic renditions, like actual art, but like that photorealistic bullshit. No, I don't like people in my tarot decks. Okay. And of course, the soul cards is because the tarot I created with soul cards for me does speak literally on a very deep soul level. It communicates with something deep inside me, and it communicates with spirits. So that's, for me, it's invaluable, especially during this time. The next decks are all oracle decks, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've been turning to. I'm going to start with my oldest and go in. I'm not going in, even with the tarot decks, I didn't go any kind of order of like preference. It was more, I think, of age. Maybe. Anyway, for sure with the oracle decks, I'm going to go from the one I've had the longest, or I've known the longest, to the newest ones. No, I lie. Not even that, because I'm looking at them and going, it's all over the place. So let's just start somewhere. The first I'm sorry if I knocked the microphone again with my big ring. Did you see my ring? It's a frog on green amber. It was an wedding anniversary gift from my husband. So here we have the vintage Wisdom. Oh my God, I could just read the box, right? Vintage Wisdom. So the first copy I had of this was probably 2016. It's 2016. I bought it like sight unseen kind of thing, like, you know, in a metaphysical shop, like a normal person, or what was normal to me at the time. Sealed, not knowing what it was, and then found out what it was when I opened the box. But this is a replacement. It's a recent replacement. I think I replaced it early this year because I had trimmed my original one, and I found that I didn't like the way it read. Isn't that funny, right? So yeah, so it's just this guy. I think you've seen, everybody has this one. I think look, I love anything vintage, and I love this vintage collage of postcards and stuff, and this art, this public domain art. I absolutely adore it. But I think what makes this read even better for me nowadays is, sadly, the creator has also passed away. Now, I'm not saying that I'm only using oracle decks of creators who are, you know, dead. And I don't wish any of the creators of the next decks to be dead. I'm just saying that I feel like this one's gotten even more magical now that Victoria Mosley is in the spirit world, in the spirit realm. So yeah, so Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I find it to be really, you know, when I need a message, when I need something, when I need a message, especially when it comes to, because it's a very femme deck. It's a very feminine energy deck, receptive energy deck. I reach for this one when I'm thinking of Donna or Terry, and I'd like a message. And holy cow, it's blown my mind. So, you know, I'm not like, I had to really think before coming on today and doing a video where I talk about the decks that I'm currently using during this grieving process, this season of loss, because I don't want the message to be, you need to go out and get these decks. I want my message to be that if you are a cards person, then, you know, if you're a cards person, you might want to have a little group that you use when you're feeling a little raw. And this is the group that I'm turning to lately, because this is the headspace I'm in. The second my headspace shifts, though, I might be reaching for different decks. I missed one tarot deck. Hang on. All right. I missed the tarot deck. Sorry. I know, enormous sweatshirt. You know what? It's still a little chilly here. So the other one that I'm reaching for, the other tarot deck that I'm reaching for, because it's my inner child, is my Peanuts Tarot. This was gifted to me by a dear friend. This one's in order right now because I did some modification to it. And I don't talk about this much, and I'm not even going to show it much because I'm not quite sure. I don't think this deck should exist, because I had collected all the images from the internet, from the Wayback Machine, years ago to print my own, which I did. It just doesn't look as nice as this one, and I wanted to show this one. And look, I put in this box and put a little Snoopy on it. But anyway. It shouldn't exist because, one, Charles Schultz would not approve of a tarot deck, and or his estate, I don't imagine. And two, it was someone's artwork, which I don't think they're being compensated for. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have shown it at all. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, like, and as far as inner child, these guys were my friends when I was little. I still have all my Peanuts, the little books. I have a little collection of books and um, that I love. And these guys were my friends when I was little because I was an only child, and it was a lonely childhood, and I like to turn to them, and it reads really well for me. For me. Another caveat, please don't go out into the world. Okay, you could do whatever you want. What am I saying? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, but if somebody's charging like hundreds of dollars for that deck, don't, don't. Seriously, all you need to do is do it. Do an internet search, and all the images are out there. And if you're going to do something, well, then you could just print your own. Because the person, I don't know who they are, but whoever printed it, cleaned it up digitally from the images you'll find online, and I've seen it sell for like crazy, crazy money. People don't do it. Don't do it. You don't need it. But thank you to my friend who sent it to me. I got it in trade. All right. The next Oracle deck. So that's it. That's it for tarot. Now back to Oracle decks. The next one is Memento Mori. I keep mine in this, what used to hold soap, a box, because of how mine is a combination of the Memento Mori, the original, the General Expansion Pack, and the Folk Magic Expansion Pack. And what I did was I just, they're not all here. I took out the cards that did not fit my my practice, especially my spiritual practice, my cultural practice. If there was a card in here that didn't speak to me at all culturally, then I just took it out, and then what's left is quite a substantial deck. And I find this, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, where it's basically a Ouija board in card form. So, handle it with respect. Handle it with respect. Handle with care. Handle with tongs. Like in Italian, they say con le pinze. Handle with tweezers. But it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Especially the headspace I'm in right now. I don't read. There's I think the first 36 cards are Lenormand, but I don't read Lenormand. So I read them as an oracle. The next one was a gift from a dear friend, and it's this one. It's an oracle deck called Olga Speaks. This is just, this looks like my childhood. Now, I don't know if the creator must be younger than I am, but it's just that it looks like my childhood. And maybe because I grew up in the city, right? Like the skyline here and everything. And the people are all different cultures. And I grew up in a very multicultural city. I'm going to find the card that, oh my God, she's so beautiful. She looks like one of my primary school teachers that I absolutely adore, or adored. I don't know where she is now, but is it the last card? I'm just making you wait while I flip. Here she is. This looks like one of my beautiful teachers in primary school. But anyway, So thank you, my friend, for this. I'm finding this has been quite nice too, um, during this season of loss. And I have two more, and they could not be more diametrically opposed. And they are this one, which I just received last week, and this one, which I just received yesterday. I picked it up yesterday. I had the Mother Mary Oracle, the full, in regular sized one years ago. Like if you've been watching me for 5 minutes, you know I had it. I had it, but the guidebook. Oh my God. So aside from the fact that the Marys had names that are too new agey for me, and the guidebook, it was just too new age for me. I ended up passing it on, but I saw this on a dear friend's channel. She was talking about the decks that she's working with this month, and I thought, oh, you know what? No names on the front of the cards. Perfect. So when you take away the names, then I see the folkloric Mary that I attach to the symbolism in the image. So an example that some of you may, so I see, there's two cards that I see, Our Lady of Guadalupe, and this is one of them. And I'm trying, my only gripe, you know what it's going to be, huh? This freaking matte cardstock that the cards all stick together. You can't fan them out. But what am I supposed to say? I'm a fucking dinosaur. Oh, I dropped the first F-bomb of the video. 37 minutes in. Look at me. Yay me. I almost made it. What am I going to tell you? I'm a dinosaur. I hate this cardstock. It's stupid. Cards that don't fan out are stupid. Like cardstock that doesn't fan out. Like, what is the point? This is beautiful. Fans out. This has nice cardstock. So I got this. I think I received this last week, and I've been working with it. I've been reading with this. Well, reading is not the right word. So this is the Cave of Sybil. Well, you saw like the Cave of Sybil. So the Cave of Sybil is a series of tunnels in underneath Naples, and historically there was a Sybil there. A Sybil is a fortune teller, or a seer or something like that. They're called a Sybil, right? In the town of Kuma, and so of course I was drawn to the whole Neapolitan connection of the Cave of Sybil. I had, pardon me, I have been to the town where that cave was, but at that time we didn't go. I don't think we went. You can't really go to the Cave of Sybil. You can tour the tunnels that lead to it or something like that. Anyway, so I'm fine. So this one, everything it's all context, right? Like I said, it's all context. And for me right now, this is in my context because this is the Black Madonna. This for me is how I experience the energy of the Black Madonna. And these images, this reminds me of the fact of there's a custom in Naples to adopt a soul from purgatory. So there's these catacombs, like there's these underground burial caves that have skulls upon skulls upon skulls, and people, there's the custom to adopt one of these and to pray for their soul in purgatory. So I'm just picking and choosing what I'm sharing. I like this one. This one, when I see it, I instantly see a brain and a spine. So I'm not going to show the whole deck because this is not a flip through. But this one too has been really, and I don't use it as an oracle deck. So the guidebook is called it's called a spell book. And the artist and author is Tierra May. And it has, I'll show you what it has. I don't use these as an oracle deck because it's not a standard oracle deck, like with the words breathe and drink some water and sorry about that. Go outside and self-care, whatever the fuck, right? This is what the guidebook looks like. And so this card here is called Ego. And then I'll read. So it has like these little ransom note style written passages. So this one says black sulfur, corrupt, vain, defile the flesh, cut off the head. But they're cut up, right? So you could essentially rearrange these words and get a message, rearrange these words and create a spell, rearrange these words and invoke the Dark Goddess or the Black Madonna. To me, this is the quintessential Black Madonna deck. When I need my mother to be the Black Madonna, she is fierce and she's the mother of the shadows. She is fierce. She is mother of the underworld. She is, so for me, it works for that. And I think I'm going to do something with this. Like, I'm going to talk about it more in detail, but it's going to be on my Patreon just because reasons. But one, because the imagery is quite jarring. I don't know if it's the kind of thing that I can actually show on here. I don't know. But also because there's, I'm gonna go in depth a little bit more. So that's gonna be a smaller audience. And that is it. That is it. So my friends, tell me in the comments below. I'd like to know what's happening with you, what's going on with you, or hopefully you're not going through a season of loss. But if you are, feel welcome to mention it in the comments. You don't have to give details. Like, you don't have to write your whole freaking, you don't have to bare your soul in the comment section for everybody to read. Just let me know if you're going through a season of loss so I can heart your comment and send some love your way. And until I see you again, which I'm not going to say because I'm going to jinx it. So I'm not going to say when you're going to see me again. But I think there's definitely going to be that side-by-side flip through of the vintage Morgan Greer and my 90s vintage Morgan, like vintage versus vintage, like spy versus spy. Flip through, and I think I'm going to be then my other plan was, because I got a list of things that I wanted to share on here. I think I might be some folk magic stuff I want to talk about and share with you, and maybe I don't know, maybe share a little DIY if there's any interest for a little DIY, or show you how I cast a spell in a book. All right, my friends, that's it for me. So yeah, please feel welcome in the comments down below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know Also, like if you are going through a season of loss, again, you don't need to put everything down like in public in front of everybody and stuff like that. Just let me know you are going through a season of loss. I could send some love your way. And what kind of tarot and oracle decks do you turn to during that time? Like what do you lean into um, in terms of supporting yourself spiritually with the divination tools we love so much? All right. Until we see each other again, my friends, wherever you are in the world, I'm wishing you a beautiful day.